Hi everyone, I hope you are having a great time. My name is Vidhi Chugh. I'm Chief AI Officer. I help companies through their AI transformation journey. And the topic that I've chosen today, this looks like a very big title, which is on the generative AI strategy that delivers, which is a must know for CXOs. And there is a special focus on delivers. The strategy, we all make strategies, and strategy has been part of business. Leave aside generative AI, what is it that is different about this strategy which should have a delivery aspect? There is a certain expectation every time you plan, and then with the moment it goes to execution, how do you see that all coming along? So that's the focus of my conversation today. Without further ado, I'll go next. All right. So generative AI, when it started, it's been some time, and the dust has settled as well. It was, introduced as the iPhone moment. There's this disruptive technology. It's revolutionary. There is whole transformative aspect of it, which also led to the companies think of AI transformation. And this is actually, if you ask me, is the true innovation. Much to the likes of electricity, the way the the way the introduction of laptops, the digital world, the internet boom happened, it is of that category. Now, the thing is, the moment something as innovative as this disruptive technology happened, which totally changed the way the machines interact with human, their ability to not only understand, comprehend, but revert as well to the humans. When such kind of a technology change happens, everybody just wants to understand it more and try to see this is exciting. I want to understand it and see how I can make use of it in my business to have a leverage. That's how it starts. And with that, soon comes the cycle that the businesses realize that are we doing it just because everybody else is doing it? And that's the kind of realization which made the whole industry realize that we are getting into the phase of what we call as FOMO, the fear of missing out, because we are now not keeping business strategy as the core. We're just trying to become very much technology first. If this is new, let me try to fit into my business. Based on which, a lot of attempts were made, a lot of experiments were done, and that excitement soon led to what I call is here is fatigue. Now, in order to not land ourselves anymore into that, going from that hype cycle of excitement to fatigue, what is it that we as leaders, as CXOs need to do? That's what I just have a lot of such conversations around, and I thought I'll just make a compilation of it and share it today. So there are three T's that are very popular. I talk about them all the time. The very first is, how much time does it take you and your team to stay updated about what is happening in the industry? The reason I say this is there was a project that I worked several years ago, 7 years ago, and everything about the project was good. There was this query engine which you could make use of, get real-time probabilistic distribution, the output. The only problem was a person needed to communicate their expectation from the model via a natural language, which the machine then translates into mathematical language, could convert and give back the response, which again needs a conversion. Now, this thing, which we are, calling as generative AI today, and the hype around it was not back then, because of which the project took its own sweet time. Now, had we had that kind of solution back then, it would have been very easy. So that's why it's important to know that what are all we after. By the time we make those development, there is something else that is happening in the space, which is making our jobs much easier. Hence, it's a constant need to stay updated. That's the very first T out of three T's that I'm mentioning here. Now, the second one is, once you have consumed that knowledge, once you have understood what is it that makes a better option for you to use, the time to develop should not be longer. Like, you should have a certain percentage of your team or the workforce who is constantly looking after what's next in the industry and is constantly trying to make sure that can be seamlessly integrated into our workflows or not. The time to stay updated, time to know what is happening in the industry and how we can make use of that, and then trying those experiments in house. These two T's are gonna land you to your third T, which is time to market. It expedite the way we are handling our previous two T's are gonna expedite the time to market, and is what we have been considering till now as the leverage. Time to market is the leverage that companies used to believe, or so I'll just explain on the next slide. So the biggest leverage so far is not just the time to market, but is the innovative thinking. And there have been a lot of discussions. I spoke to a lot of VCs and founders as well, which says that if anything that we are building, which is having these foundational models, and it just has come down to the level of having APIs built on top of it, is it truly something that we can call as innovation, or this is just a novelty or just a way to try to fill the market gap? So the innovative thinking in terms of how we approach our business using this technology as an enabler is the biggest leverage. This sounds very simple, but the moment I'll explain it in the coming slide, this would come across as what are we focusing on is the first starting point for most organizations. However, we ought to start and think and bring a bit of change, which is start with the why. I know there is a book also by Simon which talks about having your whys being declared first is your key to getting to the state where you can consider your organization as the leader into the industry. Now, what does that why mean? The very first starting point for you is do that opportunity discovery. Why is your business? Why does your business exist? Why people come to you? Why your customers, your stakeholders, your suppliers, the whole association it happens? Why do they have that bond with you? Why is that problem that you're solving is a good problem to solve? Why anyone else around you cares for getting associated with you? What so what is your mode? What is your business mode, right? So these are the whys you need to first understand, and then from there understand that what is the value proposition? Where do I stand today? That where is important after the why. Where do I stand today? And where do I see myself 3 years down the line? 3 years is the maximum strategic direction that these days organizations are taking. So point A to point B, if I need to go, I need to have a strong value proposition to fulfill that bridge or to fulfill that gap and build that bridge, right? So, and how much would that cost me? So once your why and where are done. So why am I doing certain thing in my business, and where do I need to see my business growing as 2 years or 3 years down the line will eventually take me to the what aspect of it, which tells me that what exactly are those steps that I need to take to be able to reach that stage. In the end, you need to have your teams enabled. You need to publish your visions to them and give them those skills and tools with which they can leverage it. Eventually, I just want to summarize key 3 points, which are the pillars that I've seen are now is the point that I'm going to highlight are delivering on those generative AI promise, which means they're going to give you those returns on hefty AI investments. Those returns are going to come from three pillars here, which I've highlighted as I, T, and R. This is not the typical ITR that we are all aware of. I stands for integration. We should all start not just thinking about doing POC for the sake of it, just doing experiments, but from that end goal of industrializing AI, which means that AI should be seamlessly integrated into the business, that workflows become very seamless. Now, second T is on the teams. Not just on the team side, but coming from the mindset of having modernized AI workflows, we need to have a modernized workforce as well that is constantly getting upskilled and is trying and looking and building the forward looking infrastructure. The third pillar is on the risk. As we build along, most of the time, even if we are ready to go to the market, we are not yet aware of the risk, because those are some of the risks are unforeseen. So having those data related, AI governance related risk already pre-planned while you build your AI strategy is your key to getting the generative AI strategy that's going to deliver on the returns that you're going to on the investments that you're going to make. So with ITR, these three pillars, I'm my talk is done, and it's been a pleasure speaking on this forum, and I'll hand over to Sameer from here. Thanks a lot for being a part of it.